History does not long entrust the care of freedom to the weak or the timid. President Dwight D. Eisenhower. The man currently sitting in the West Wing and his entire party, they are the virtual definition of weakness and cowardice. They are not long for power. Some 10 years later, another general stated, "Our government has kept us in a perpetual state of fear, kept us in a continuous stampede of patriotic fervor with the cry of grave national emergency. Always there has been some terrible evil at home or some monstrous foreign power that was going to gobble us up if we did not blindly rally behind it." Now this was 65 years ago. And what do we see today? At home, we have one group of people terrified of the 2020 sniffles, and the other group, while they have all sorts of bravery when it comes to that, when it comes to China, oh, everybody be afraid. Oh, we need to be ready for the imminent Red Dawn invasion coming tomorrow. Always something to be afraid of and to live in a state of fear. Still waiting here in Florida. Still waiting for the massive hurricanes they were going to send our way because the governor didn't fall in line with D.C. Still waiting for the giant tsunami to come from the La Palma volcano. Still waiting for federal troops to come marching in and set things right, so to speak. None of it happened. And I got hundreds and hundreds of warnings in my comment section about, "You just wait, Mucky, you just wait." Well, we've been waiting a long time. This is the 5-day graphical tropical weather outlook from NOAA. And it is now second, third week of October. And they're not expecting anything new anytime soon. So where's the kaboom, so to speak, to quote Marvin the Martian? Where's the kaboom? Antarctica had its coldest winter on record, but they're saying it doesn't disprove global warming. I wonder if it could be seasonal. I wonder if the ebb and flow of the planet conducts itself in such a way that people can't understand it completely yet, that we have warming cycles and cooling cycles, and that the Earth itself may have its own seasons. Still waiting. Still waiting for the weather mod HARP people to explain why they just didn't destroy Florida with a giant hurricane. You see, it's not those major events like hurricanes and earthquakes and volcanoes that define life. It's the small day-to-day decisions that map the course of living. Our lives are, in reality, the sum total of our seemingly unimportant decisions and of our capacity to live by those decisions. And to that end, I'd like to share something with you today that doesn't seem like it would be that important, but it is. Thank God every day that I live in Florida. One of the reasons, not every, but one of the reasons is this guy right here. See, he's not your typical politician. He sees the world a very, very different way, and I've read his book, Dreams from Our Founding Fathers, that he wrote. And if you don't have your hardcover copy of that, you should probably get it. They're becoming very hard to find. October 15, 2021. Dear Secretary Dane Eagle, my administration remains committed to ensuring Florida has the strongest economy in the nation. As the country sees job numbers underperforming, growth slowing, and concerning signs of inflation, Florida remains strong. The common sense policies we enacted over the past year have resulted in an extraordinary period of economic recovery, and we have sustained 16 consecutive months of private sector job growth. And the state of Florida's unemployment rate has remained below the national average for 13 straight months. As you are aware, the pandemic created financial obstacles for many Floridians, which caused millions to file claims for reemployment assistance benefits. During the height of the pandemic, our number one priority was to ensure Floridians received their benefits on a timely basis, and we focused on reducing red tape to speed up that process. As a result, providing this swift response, many claimants, believing they were fully and accurately applying for reemployment assistance within the bounds of the law, received overpayments from the state. In Florida, we have chosen to lift people up instead of shutting them down, and we must continue to lead with compassion and grace to help Floridians elevate above avoidable setbacks in their personal economic recoveries. To that end, I am directing you to submit a request to the state's chief financial officer to indefinitely defer all referrals to collections agencies for all non-fraudulent overpayments incurred during the pandemic. Thank you for your continued efforts to support Floridians' robust economic recovery. Sincerely, Governor Ron DeSantis. Our governor decided, you know what? Instead of taking back money that went out fraudulently or in error, in overpayments, we're just going to let the people keep it. When have you ever heard a politician say that about government? That, we wanted to get money out to people as fast as we could, and in some cases, we overpaid some folks. We're just going to let them keep it. We're going to let them hang on to it because we think money is better left in the hands of the people than in the hands of government. Now, I know this seems like a small thing, but it is a huge thing when you needed that money. And for some folks, it might be the difference. Paying the rent, getting groceries. If this was the federal government, you bet they would arm how many BATF officers or IRS officers to go get every red cent back, wouldn't they? In fact, they're trying now to get into people's bank accounts and trying to monitor every transaction that was over $600. Not our governor. He admits, we, in our desire to get money out, we paid out a little bit too much. Go ahead and keep it. Go ahead and keep it. If you don't think Florida's different, or if you think Governor DeSantis is just another politician, think again. Something to remember in the days of crisis. Necessity is the plea for every infringement of human freedom. It is the argument of tyrants. It is the creed of slaves. William Pitt the Younger. John Milton from Paradise Lost added to that, and with necessity, the tyrant's plea excused his devilish deeds. There could not be a more stark contrast right now between Florida and everywhere else. Because while D.C. is trying to cook up every argument it can to take more from you and raise your taxes through inflation and other means, here in Florida, we're giving money back to people. We're handing out bonuses to law enforcement officers and teachers and emergency service personnel. We're not making enemies. We're teaching people to work together. See, generally speaking, when you're talking about D.C., this is true. But governance can be done correctly. Governance can be done properly, and it can be done correctly. I saw this when I was looking through images for today, and it's actually true. Freedom is selfish. It is a form of being selfish. But everyone needs to have a certain level of self-interest. Because if you don't, when you lose the idea of being self-interested, you're just going to be, what's the option? Slavery. If you don't do for yourself, no one else is going to. That's just the world we live in. That's just the reality we live in. And I think this particular image is a good delineator of adult ways of thinking of things and juvenile ways of thinking of things. Because those who just say, you know what, I'm going to do this for the common good or that for the common good or this other thing for the common good, they're just ripe for being taken advantage of. And the first person in line to do it will be the government. History does not long entrust the care of freedom to the weak or the timid. And I'll leave it there. God bless, like, share, subscribe, and we'll see you guys next time.